All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar, Lupagus in the house. We're talking top 5 losers in the big win over the Packers. This show is brought to you by BetUS. Use the code YouTube150 for 150% deposit match on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. Great customer service, fast payouts. BetUS. We're gonna be looking at the odds for that Monday night game that is coming up. So hold tight. But remember that YouTube code. YouTube 150 Lupagus. Let's talk some top 5 losers. Let's remember, we're the winners though. The Packers.
Yeah, 0 is the number we have in the loss column because we are 4-0. 4-0.
Let's go.
Boom. Let's do it. Let's talk about the most obvious one. The one player, I think it's the only player on the list this week, which is weird, but when you're 4-0, that's what happens. Jaylen Naylor. The muff punt that led to disaster, led to the Packers having life and coming back in this game when they really should have had nothing to do. This game should have been an absolute cakewalk, started third quarter. Instead, we started sweating it out because of what Jaylen Naylor did.
You know what? Everybody saw it. I don't even know what else to say. It was one of the worst plays I've ever seen. Like, you can't even – sun in his eyes, no excuse. If the sun's in your eyes – run away. Mm-hmm. Don't try to catch, like, there's no excuse. So I got nothing. And the worst part is how much of a momentum swing it was. Huge. It wasn't just a boneheaded play. It turned the game around. So easily the biggest, worst play of the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge difference from being down 3 scores to 4 scores at the start of the second half. It should have been Vikings up by 4, maybe even more. Who knows what they do? There was still like a minute 30 left, I think, when that happened. I think we had 3 timeouts, maybe 2, but you could have driven down, maybe got a field goal, even go up by more, really put the nail in the coffin. Instead, Jaylen Naylor mussed this thing. Packers score 7 when they shouldn't have, and all of a sudden you're looking at a 3-score game going into the second half.
Well, yeah, and the half would have ended at 28-0.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could have took a couple knees. It would have been fine. 28-0. They go to 28-7, and then they get the ball back. It was brutal. I never want to see him return a punt ever again. And you can say, oh yeah, anybody would have dropped that. The dude put his hands. He was trying to catch it.
He reached back, like almost like a
get out of the way, man.
Buffalo kind of a catch on it.
Anyway,
yeah, but that kind of effort to field the punt, don't catch the punt.
Absolutely, but. Reminder, we are 4-0. Who else we got next?
Yeah, let's go with the coaching staff. Let's start with Brian Flores. Like, how do you let the Packers score? We get it. You go to prevent, you're up so much. But they were scoring very quickly on this defense. Like 3 plays, and they were in the end zone. It was like, that's what you don't want to happen. Even when you're in prevent, it's about, like, yeah, you eventually score, but it's going to take 3-4 minutes. They were scoring, like, in 30-second chunks here. It was kind of horrifying.
No, the Packers in the second half, they had their way with us. Jordan Love, the amount of time he had, any quarterback in the league would have been able to pick us apart. It was weird. It was very Ed Donatell-esque, which we saw in the comments in the post game. Like at some point, it's like, all right, we went and did prevent for that drive. They made it easy. Let's go back to it. They never seemed to get back to it. Like they just stuck with what they were doing. And I don't think the Packers figured us out by any means.
No.
I think it was just like we were not aggressive. We were letting them get first downs. I don't know what it was, but it was bad. It's just not Brian Flores' style. That's the most confusing part.
And I don't get, like, even when we're up by 9 late in the game, it's like, why not go to your base defense and, like, play your scheme and attack? Because if they happen to bust a big one, which hasn't happened all game, like, it's fine. But, like, you go to this prevent thing where they're dissecting you. It made no sense, especially when you're up by 9. Like, I don't get that decision there to do that and to play that kind of defense. I know Brian Flores probably is kicking himself about it right now and hating himself for what he did, but we got the win. But again, it's going to raise questions that I don't think need to be raised because I'm not really overly concerned. I just think the Vikings got up so big so early. You start kind of playing with the foot off the gas, a little more relaxed style. It almost bit him in the ass today. It didn't, but it was that close to doing it.
Yeah, I don't, again, we're 4-0. Let's go to BetUS real quick. Get over to BetUS, log in, and you can check this out. So let's go to the Monday night game. Lions are, 4-point favorites over the Seahawks. Seahawks 3-0. 3-0. Are you buying into the Seahawks?
Where's the game at?
I have no idea. But thank you for asking.
If it's at Seattle, I'm probably taking the home team. If not, if it's at Detroit, I'll take the Detroit line there.
Really? Yeah, I think this is going to be a fantastic game.
It should be.
I'm still, the Lions 2-1 right now, even though we're 4-0. Lions they're gonna get theirs this year. Lions are the team I'm most worried about in the NFC North. So head over to BetUS, and also depending on when you're watching this, the Titans and Dolphins tonight. Dolphins -2 against the Titans. Titans are the worst. The Titans are like Jaylen Naylor trying to return a punt.
Wow,
bad.
Very rude what you said with the Titans. Not nice. But I think actually both those games are on Monday night. It's a Monday night doubleheader again.
God, you're right. It is both Monday night.
Yeah,
nailed it. Well done, Lupagus.
Thank you. Let's go to another turd. Let's go to those Packers fans who left with like 4 minutes left. This game wasn't over yet. And all these owners of the Packers are leaving the stadium. Leaving.
Maybe they had an appointment. Maybe they had a dentist appointment, even though it's Sunday. I don't know what it was, but it got real. It came down to an onside kick. Come on. Be better. Stick around to the end. Like, Packers fans are supposed to be at least diehard, and we're just watching them out like cattle.
It wasn't multiple scores. It was like a 2-score lead, and the way our defense was playing, like, why would you leave at that point? I think it was after maybe, was it the Bynum? I mean, there was a turnover or something.
We got the fumble from Bynum, and then it was basically like, all right, I got stuff to do. I got yard work. I got a rake.
Yeah. It was
so Packers fans, you officially have made the list.
Well, you're losers because you left, and you're losers because you're also 2-2.
Not great. We got a 2-game lead, baby. God,
Packers are better when Malik Willis is their quarterback.
Packers, if you would have won this, you would be first in the North. And now the Bears are even 2-2.
Seriously, though, they are better record-wise when Malik Willis is under center.
Something to think about. It's
not wrong.
All right, what do we got? One more?
Yeah, and again, this is one we kind of do with a little bit of a hesitant sigh. Fine, I'll put one more guy on here. Yeah, we're going to go KOC on this one.
Yeah, and when you're up 28 rip, and it turns into this, you gotta start pointing fingers at the head coach. Like unless you're the Vikings coming back against the Colts, it's not in the cards. It shouldn't happen. No. It shouldn't get anywhere near that. And whether or not it was the defense that collapsed, whether it's just we're playing too conservative, it comes back to the head coach. And Kevin O'Connell, this is on you, man. We dominated that first half, and there's no reason they should have came back this close.
Well, you look at it, like throwing on third down. There was other times where you're just like, why don't we run the ball here? What are we doing? And even like you can go back to the end of the game when 4th and 1 and we give it to Jaylen Naylor on end around. Like, just pound it. Just pound the ball. Like, you can't – 2 plays, you can't get 1 yard. That kind of shit, it kind of compounded through the second half, and that's why I think Kevin O'Connell is on this list.
Yeah, it's fair. Whatever angle you want to take on it, you can't let a team come back and actually be an onside kick away from winning the game. So, moral of the story is the Vikings are 4-0. We'll see where we rank as far as the NFL teams, but I'm putting us at number 1. I don't give a shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to win against the division rival, your biggest rival at their place. You won. Should have been a bigger win. Yeah, should have been. But you know what? A win is a win. We're 4-0.
Niners, Texans, Packers. Boom. Get out of here. We kicked the shit out of you. Let's go.
We did. Let us know in the comments. You got any other losers that you want to mention? I hope you don't. Hit up BetUS.
BetUS, head it up. Use that YouTube 150 promo code. Thank you for BetUS for sponsoring the show.
And remember this: it takes 12 pounds of milk to produce just 1 gallon of ice cream. It's a lot of milk.